Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel below, somewhere there. You can hit the bell there and you get notifications when a new video comes up. But new videos are every Friday at 11:30 AM. For this evening's video, which is going to be another tips video, so we're just going to work through some tips on the back row. So it's important to make sure anything like, we push, we're able to pull, so you need kind of balance in your program and your workouts. If you bench, then you should be able to back row. You work your chest, you should work your back. It's similar with your shoulders and lats and posterior, anterior, front and back, and opposing muscle groups. Now there are some variations on the back row. Mainly it's to do with the grip, whether it's an underhand grip or an overhand grip. So basically all that means is if you grip the bar underneath as you're going to row, or you grip the bar over and then you row. There are a few things then with the bar where you start the bar. You can unrack it off the rack and then set up position. You can also deadlift it off the ground and then assume your position. But then with the penalty row, it is actually off the ground. The only thing with the penalty row is that it's more of an explosive kind of exercise, and that is mainly with an underhand grip, so you're recruiting the biceps a little bit as you're pulling up. So it's probably mainly more kind of for power, so it wouldn't be an exercise if you're a beginner that you go straight in. If that was going to be your back exercise for the day, you wouldn't go straight into the penalty row. You will start in the back row. The angle you want to always make sure that you're going to actually be rowing the barbell up rather than kind of shrugging it up with your shoulders. So I'll show you what we mean now in a second. For me, I usually deadlift it off the ground, so we're going to do that first. Now, good solid deadlift up off the ground, and the back row position would be kind of your top phase of your deadlift. I'll just narrow in my stance a little bit, and you're going as if you're going down maybe for what you might think of a straight leg deadlift, or going into just a standard deadlift. You're going to bring the barbell just down, maybe just below the knees, roll that up, keeping the bar close, hitting the stomach there as well, and getting the elbows back, and a good squeeze in at the top. And then place the barbell back down on the ground. Now in that you should see that the elbows are coming back, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, the scapula is at the top of the back, squeezing in, and that would be the good one. At that angle I was trying to get maybe hit around 45 degrees, so you're looking at this angle here, to the ground. You're kind of hoping that eventually you might be down horizontal to the ground, so that way you get even a better row, and that will lead nicely onto the penalty row, because you will have to be more horizontal for the penalty row. But with that angle is, the straighter you are and the wider the angle here, the more you're actually going to end up shrugging. So I'll show you that now as well. You just deadlift off the ground. Now if I was up too high, what I'd end up shrugging and trying to squeeze the barbell in. And what that is that's basically a shrug for your traps, and you're lifting your shoulder up, but you're not actually activating the back too much. So the idea of it is, once you're in position and you're rolling up, you get the elbows up, and the last little bit there you might want to try and point the elbows together, but we're always looking for that squeeze. So you'll have to find the appropriate angle for yourself that you feel that you are working out. Now, maybe at the start you might find that position hard to get into, because what you will be limited to is the weight that you're able to kind of hold in that position, because it will put a little bit of stress on, say, your hamstrings, because you're holding in that position. And like I said, you might recognize the position from a straight leg deadlift. Next thing then is, like the elbows, don't have them coming up really strict into, say, like a right angle. So if we're going to do that one this time, you don't want them up into a right angle, because you're going to be out too far. It's going to bring the barbell out in front of you. And what you want to do is keep the barbell close, coming up right beside the legs and into the stomach, and a nice squeeze at the top. So you're trying to point those elbows back behind you, but also point them in towards each other then as well. So that's kind of just going to get the most out of your barbell deadlift, that nice little squeeze. But also, as I said before, it's in that position whatever you feel comfortable holding that position in. If you're not used to that, you might have to maybe start off, of course, with a light weight, get the technique right, but you do have to get down somewhere around this position here, so that when you row up, you are actually rowing, so that the back will be activated. As I said, the more you stand up, the more the emphasis kind of comes off the back, and then you're going to go into maybe our barbell trap shrug, alright? Which wouldn't be ideal for the exercise. Placement then, back down the ground, always deadlift the back down, of course the safety first. Now if you want, you can rack it on a low rack and take it off that when you're doing it, and when you're finished you can re-rack it, but usually we kind of take it off the floor. Just to show you the difference maybe between that standard barbell row and maybe a penny row. So a penny row like that would be an underhand grip. And once again, you're actually going to stay in that horizontal position to the floor. You're going to tuck the barbell up to the stomach. So you see you're using a little bit more speed, move the barbell a little bit faster, a little bit more power into that kind of exercise. Now you can do your standard back row with an underhand grip, so we'll show you that as well. Once we deadlift it off, in the position, rolling up and back down. Now the difference would be when you use underhand like that, you'll probably be a little bit narrower, you'll keep probably the elbow a little bit closer. So when the elbow comes a little bit closer, you're recruiting a little bit more of the lats once the elbow is close. You're also recruiting your bicep in the movement, so you might feel that you could lift a little bit more in the underhanded row than you would overhanded. But you have to be aware of when you do go underhanded that it will be, even though you might be lifting heavier, you're actually recruiting more muscles, so that's why it probably feels a little bit lighter. Like that, the lats be more activated as well with the biceps. A little thing in that, you could point the elbows out a little bit. So when we roll underhand, point the elbows out, but you're still tucking it up and say aiming for kind of where your belly button is, a little bit lower, maybe just into the hip crease there, from the knee up. Now if you flare the elbows out just a small bit, you kind of get the emphasis back onto your upper back, but then again you're still recruiting your biceps. So it kind of depends on what area you want to work most on, whether you're going for that little bit heavier, if you don't mind recruiting the other muscles, if you're looking for a power exercise, which would be the penny row for your upper back, or in fact that if you want the sole focus to be on your back, probably overhand is going to be a little bit better. The thing with maybe overhand versus underhand is that some people find it hard on the wrists with the movement up, and some people find it then hard also on the shoulders, getting the right position in as well. But like that, if you didn't feel comfortable with one and you felt more comfortable with the other hand, you know, that's okay as well, because it's important to get your back row is one of the compound movements for your back, so it's important that it is in your workout plans at some stage as well. And like that, it's going to balance off against your bench press. So we always kind of say what you should be able to push, you should be able to pull as well. So you're looking for nice weight on that. If your back row was only in around 20 kilos but you're benching 50, then you're going to be a little bit imbalanced. Try that exercise then, like that, with the light weight, to learn the exercise, to learn the movement, and also to get used to being in that position. Because if you don't do maybe straight leg deadlifts, or you don't do deadlifts, which you should, another good compound exercise, that you're not going to be comfortable in that position. So what you might need to do maybe, even if there's dumbbells around, dumbbell variation, holding the dumbbells here in front, the same idea, same path you'd be making as with the barbell, and you're rolling the dumbbells up and down. You might feel more comfortable with the dumbbells. They do move a little bit more, of course, and it also depends on what space you have, because obviously the 7-foot bar is going to take a little bit of space from you as well. So it's just a few kind of things to take into consideration when you are doing it. Just remember that you should always feel, probably the most important thing is the feel of the exercise where you're doing, that you feel that you're rolling it back towards yourself, and your upper back is being activated, let's say, and that you feel that that's where the focus of it is. One mistake, probably that I see the most, is kind of what you call maybe head bobbing. So what that would look like is that you lift it up, you're ready to go, and you're driving your head in. And that kind of just makes you feel like that you're pulling the weight up, but you're actually coming maybe down to meet the bar, which isn't great either. Your upper body should stay nice and still, and as you're rolling it up, that's what the back is being activated for, so you're not really using momentum on that. Now, of course, with the penalty row, it's a little bit of momentum because you're driving into it too. It's slightly different because you'll always be working on your power with the penalty row rather than trying to maybe build the strength in your back. So once again, that's the back row. Just a few pointers, few tips just to take home on that. It is important to learn your technique like it is with every exercise before you start building up the weight, and then it is practice along the way, especially getting into that position which you may feel uncomfortable. Kind of where you'll be looking at the borderline will be you still, at this position, you still might get in a row. And if you have to start there, fine, but your target should always be to work that upper body down so that you do get in a nice row. And then kind of develop it on from there, whether you want to try the penalty row and then start mixing and matching maybe underhand, overhand, and see what works best for you. As I said, some people find the overhand grip the best, others underhand. In here in the workshop with clients coming in, we will chop and change and we'll do a little bit of both as well. Just to keep it nice and balanced as well, because it's nice a little bit of change. That's our video for this evening, tips video. If you have any comments or need clarification or any points, don't be afraid to comment. If you have any other tips that you'd like to pass on to people, comment then as well, and maybe people might read some comments and they might pick up things, me myself as well. If I see something I might have known already, that'll be great as well. And it's all about kind of collaborating, getting everybody's ideas in and learning off each other, which is also important. So that's the video done for this evening. We'll catch you again next Friday at 11:30. Take it easy.